Flight tricks airlines don't advertise. You step into the terminal and it already feels like a game you didn't get the rulebook for. Lines that snake forever, outlets that never appear when your phone is dying, seats that somehow vanish even though you paid like everyone else. Today you're getting the quiet rules frequent flyers use without bragging. How to pick the line that moves, how to get into a lounge for $0 without a premium ticket, and the one photo on your phone that can get a gate agent quietly on your side. We'll open a couple of loops here. Yes, there's a legit way to enjoy lounge calm without status. And yes, one simple picture of your bag saves time, money, and stress. And close them later. Along the way, you'll learn the psychology of security lines, the charging trap to avoid, the 2-line upgrade ask that actually lands, and a few callbacks that tie it all together so your next trip feels less like roulette and more like you being in control. Picture the security hall at its busiest. Bodies funneling into a maze of retractable belts, screens flashing instructions you can't quite hear, and everyone defaulting to the first line to say. The problem is simple. Picking the wrong lane can add 20 minutes of dead time to your day. Your move is the golden walk. Don't commit to the first queue. Walk past the cluster until you can see where lines merge. Then choose the lane with the fewest families, strollers, and repack projects. In countries that drive on the right, the leftmost checkpoint is often underused because most people drift right without thinking. You'll clear faster with less drama and arrive at the bins calmer. Keep the momentum. We'll stack this time savings with a tiny phone trick that pays off later at the gate. You reach the bins and remember the liquids roll, but here's the quiet nuance that solves a common pain. You can bring food through security, and you can bring an empty bottle to fill airside. The problem is relying on expensive bottled water and sad gate snacks that wreck your energy. Your action is to pack dry solid foods, nuts, crisps, bars, sandwiches without saucy overload, and a sturdy empty bottle. Once you're through, refill at a water station. Altitude dulls taste buds, so salty or crunchy snacks feel more satisfying, and steady hydration helps you arrive less foggy. This small pre-security routine lowers your spend and boosts your mood. Now that your hands are free and your bottle is full, we'll use your phone to unlock leverage. You'll appreciate when staff start eyeing carry-ons. Right at the gate or check-in, you see the dreaded sizer and a scale that looks ready to ruin your day. The problem, staff are trained to keep bins flowing and upsell last-minute fees if a bag seems borderline. Your move starts before you leave home. Take a clear photo of your carry-on fully packed next to your personal item and a household scale reading. Keep a second shot of the bag in the metal sizer at home or at a previous airport if you have it. When challenged, pull up that photo and calmly say, "It weighed under X and fit the sizer last time." You're not arguing, you're showing you travel prepared. People respond to receipts. Often the agent waves you on. Keep that photo handy. We'll call back to it at baggage claim and when we talk boarding pass safety in a bit. You arrive at the gate and the herd forms early, anxious to stand in a line that isn't moving. The problem is that boarding early only helps if overhead space is scarce. Otherwise, you're trading 40 minutes of standing for the same seat. Your play is situational. If you need bin space for gear, line up with your group and board promptly. If not, sit, charge, and board in the back half to spend more time comfortably off your feet. Once aboard, you can improve your seat without friction by scouting near empty rows and using an ultra-polite swap script. "Hi, I'm in 21C on the aisle. Any chance you prefer an aisle and I take your middle so my partner and I can sit together?" People say yes when you offer something in return. Save your social energy. We'll use a similar gentle ask for upgrades later. You finally get a seat at the gate and spot a shiny public USB ports begging for your cable. The problem is twofold. First, public USB can be unreliable or even risky. Second, everyone fights for the same few outlets. Your action is to use your own wall brick or a small power bank and skip raw USB. Hunt for power where others don't look, behind columns on the sides of check-in islands, and along walls of less busy gates a few doors down. Many airports hide outlets under seating or behind display stands. Do a quick recon loop. With a power bank, you can charge anywhere and avoid the scrum. Remember this when we talk lounges. Outlets are plentiful there, which brings us closer to that $0 lounge answer you're waiting for. At the next trip, you're juggling medication, baby supplies, or duty-free and wondering what the rules really are. The problem is uncertainty that slows you and everyone behind you. The fix is to declare and separate, keep medically necessary liquids, baby milk, and other allowed exceptions in a clear bag at the top of your tote. Tell the officer before your bin slides in. Duty-free and tamper-evident bags with receipts usually passes through connections if unopened. By signaling early, you control the interaction and avoid repassing chaos that gums up the lane. Smooth process is your time saver, and once you're through, your next move can trade all that noise for calm without paying business class prices. You don't have status and your ticket says economy, but beyond the sliding doors is quiet, food, and reliable Wi-Fi. The problem? Lounges feel off-limits if you haven't memorized card benefits. The action is to think pathways, not status. Irregular operations, delays, long connections, cancellations sometimes trigger lounge vouchers at a service desk. It costs nothing to politely ask if there's a courtesy option for disrupted passengers. Some terminals run common use lounges that sell day passes at the door, and partners or travel companions may have guest privileges that cover you for free. When none of that fits, check if your airline's app offers discounted entry at check-in for your specific flight. These specials pop up quietly. Resolution: you step inside, snag an outlet, and reset. Keep the calm. We'll protect your digital details next so you don't leak them while celebrating. You're relaxed, you snap a "I made it" photo of your boarding pass and post it. The problem? Barcodes can expose booking references and names that make it easier for bad actors to tamper with your reservation. Your action is simple: never post your pass. Add it to your digital wallet, lock your phone, and if you must share, crop out codes and personal info. Bonus: store a screenshot of your itinerary and a photo of your passport's info page for emergencies, but keep them offline and secured. Now remember the bag photo? Both live in the same travel receipts album on your phone. Proof for staff, backup for you, and zero oversharing to the internet. With your digital hygiene set, let's talk upgrades without being that passenger. You're checking your seat map the week of travel and notice a window of movement. The problem is seats reshuffle as elites get upgraded and no-shows shake loose. But most economy flyers never look again. Your move is to refresh in the 96 hours before departure at 72, 48, 24, and again at the gate. If a better seat opens, grab it instantly in the app. If an exit row or bulkhead shows up but needs agent help, approach with specifics. "Hi, if 20A stays empty, I'd love to move there. Happy to wait until boarding is complete." You're making the agent's work easier and staying out of the way. Keep that calm tone. We'll use a 2-line ask at the podium soon that respects the rules and still gets results. You hear an announcement. The flight is oversold and they're seeking volunteers. The problem is most people either rush forward without a plan or ignore the good opportunity. Your action: if your schedule allows, move quickly and negotiate politely. Ask about confirmed seats on the next flight, meal vouchers, and credit that doesn't expire quickly. Get the promise in writing before you deplane. If multiple options exist, choose the one with the least risk of a chain delay. Resolution: you turn inconvenience into value without drama. File that skill away. When you help the operation, agents remember you, which quietly raises your odds when you ask for something modest at the gate in the next loop. You land across time zones and feel the fog rolling in. The problem is throwing your body at a new schedule without scaffolding. Your move starts a day early. Shift meals and bedtime by an hour, hydrate steadily, and plan a short anchor nap on arrival, 20 to 30 minutes, not 2 hours. Get morning light at destination time and a brisk walk to nudge your clock. Save the coffee for local morning rather than pounding it at 10 p.m. on the plane. A seat you can sleep in, an eye mask, and a light snack instead of a heavy face work better than willpower alone. Resolution: you function on day 1. Keep this energy. Two small tech choices next will keep your devices alive and your data safe on airport Wi-Fi. The board says free Wi-Fi, and you see everyone jumping on the same network. The problem? Congested airport networks bog down, and sign-ins sometimes hijack your browser. Your action is to pre-download playlists, maps, boarding passes, and reading in your notes app, so a slow network doesn't block you. If you do join public Wi-Fi, avoid sensitive logins and use your phone's hotspot if you need to transact. Messaging tiers on board are often free or cheap, enable them, but keep big uploads for later. Resolution: your work keeps moving whether the signal cooperates or not. Keep that flow. We're about to turn border queues into a faster exit using the same pick-the-line psychology you used back at security. Immigration halls can feel endless after a long flight. The problem is choosing a line that barely crawls while others snake forward. Your action is to scan for behavior, not length. Business travelers with passports in hand move faster than groups rummaging for documents. E-gates, where available to you, usually beat staffed booths. If you can, avoid arriving on the biggest bank of long-haul flights by shifting your departure an hour earlier or later. When lines split, the exterior lanes are often emptier for the same reason the leftmost security lane was. People follow the herd to the center. Resolution: you reach baggage claim earlier and reclaim agency, and that's perfect timing for the second callback to your bag photo. You've still got time before boarding, but every chair at your gate is full. The problem is camping where everyone else camps. Your fix is to claim calm a few gates away. Most terminals have pockets of empty seating and clean restrooms if you walk 5 minutes. Sit with your back to a wall for bag awareness, use your power bank, and treat this like your pop-up office. If you need a call, stairwells and connector corridors are often quieter than quiet rooms. Resolution: your stress stays low and you arrive at the door relaxed. Save that composure. You'll use it at the podium for the two-line ask that doesn't annoy the crew and sometimes nudges you forward. At the carousel, identical black suitcases circle like clones, and you realize I'll recognize it was wishful thinking. The problem is lost time and mix-ups that cost you later. Your move was earlier. Add a loud tag or strap at home and take a bright, well-lit photo of your bag from 2 angles plus the claim tag sticker. If your bag misses the flight, that photo album, the same one with your sizer and scale shots, lets the desk file a precise report in minutes. While you wait, stand at the first bend of the belt where bags appear upright, not the crowded middle where they're stacked. Resolution: you roll out quickly or file a solid claim and go. With your luggage sorted, let's close the upgrade loop you've been waiting for. The gate is busy, staff are juggling tasks, and you want to be the person they're happy to help. The problem is requests that slow the operation or sound entitled. Your action is a crisp, low-impact script delivered when there's a natural lull. Hi, if any seats open due to no-shows, I'd love to be considered. I'm in 22C and happy to help with any receipts. Then you step aside. You've offered flexibility, agents need that. You've kept it brief and you haven't asked them to bend rules. If there's space, your name goes on a quiet mental list. If not, you've still marked yourself as helpful, the same spirit that got you a lounge courtesy during a delay and smoothed that carry-on challenge with the bag photo. Resolution: sometimes you move forward, every time you keep goodwill for the next trip. You now hold the rules airports won't print. Walk past the first line to find the lane that actually moves. Bring food and an empty bottle so you control your energy. Take the bag photo that settles arguments. Avoid raw USB and keep your digital life off public barcodes. Refresh seats as the clock ticks down. Turn overbooking into value. Use light and timing to beat jet lag. Plan for offline so Wi-Fi can't stall you. Pick faster border lines the same way you picked faster security. Create your own quiet zone. And when you ask for better, do it in 2 respectful lines. We close the lounge loop. Courtesy vouchers, day passes, and in-app offers can get you in for $0 out of pocket when the stars align. And we close the bag photo loop at the carousel and the gate. On your next trip, try just 2 of these, the golden walk and the bag photo leverage. You'll feel the difference immediately, and you'll never see terminals the same way again.